I suffer from an affliction called, I wonder what's down that road. When I see a road or a path that I've never been down, my immediate response is the desire to check it out. Even the ones that scream, nope, still attract my curiosity. Although, over the years, I have grown better at recognizing paths that won't have any worthwhile payoff. I have a strong case of the you don't know unless you try mentality, and with that comes both the highs and lows of discovery. Maybe you'll end up somewhere incredibly beautiful, find a remote and quiet camp spot, or have an unexpected adventure. But just as likely, you will find dead ends, unpleasant conditions, regretful decisions, and disappointment. The risk and rewards of exploration cannot be separated, making a life in explore mode not for the faint of heart. I've taken the risk, I've set off down the unknown path, and now I'm about to find out. Will it be worth it, or is it all a waste of time? My time with a roommate in the van started off pretty rocky when an unwelcome bug knocked me out with the flu, worse than I've experienced in a long, long time. I wasn't exactly in a strong place to begin with, so to be knocked down just as I was getting my feet under me again was incredibly disappointing. After several days bedridden, I can now say that the glaring sun and austere landscape of Utah is not a nice place to be sick. I craved so much to be home in the forest, with the comfort of moist air, shade, and bird song, but I had made the decision, despite many challenges, to continue my road trip in the United States as planned. I wanted to spend time with friends. I wanted Frank to enjoy a dry, sunny winter, and I thought that it might be better for me to take my time heading north and focus on improving my health without the challenges of so much weather as we tend to have early spring in Canada. I had no way of knowing then whether or not I had made the best decision, but it's the decision I made, and I was living out the consequences of that decision. As soon as I was able to, I started heading out for walks again, trying to see some of the Utah I had looked forward to exploring. With diminishing energy, I had to settle with less and face the frustration of losing progress I worked so hard to attain the previous weeks. I wanted nothing more than to feel strong, to explore a state I had looked forward to visiting for years, and what I ended up needing most of all wasn't big adventures. It was slow days, short walks, and a lot of time spent sleeping. Sleep is something I've struggled with my entire life, and years of chronic sleep deprivation caught up to me this winter in a really bad way, resulting in a medical emergency. So since then, I've been really focused on turning things around for myself and trying to find just the right thing to help me get a good night's sleep, which is why I'm so excited to share today's sponsor with you, who is Dream. This blend has worked so well for me. It's been super easy to add to my nighttime routine and immediately helped me fall asleep faster and stay asleep so that I woke up with more energy, which is really important for just making the most of life. I first heard about Dream on some of my favorite YouTube channels, and it contains ingredients such as magnesium and melatonin, which are clinically proven to improve sleep. A good night's sleep is absolutely critical to the quality of the following day. And so if you also struggle with sleep, I highly recommend giving Dream a try. You can use code TIDELINE to save 35% off your order. I will put the link in the description as well as somewhere up here on the screen. So thanks again to Dream for sponsoring this video, and I hope you sleep well. My time in Utah is a good reminder of why it's not always worth it to plan life too far in advance. It doesn't matter how much you look forward to something or plan for it to go a certain way. It may still turn out totally different because you actually have no way of knowing how you will feel when the time comes, who you will be, or what you will want out of life. I did what I could to make the best of my time, given how I felt. It ended up taking a couple weeks for my lungs to recover and energy levels to return closer to normal, but in that time I did see some incredible sights as we made our way out of Utah and across Nevada.
You like this stick? Look at this. It's not as big maybe as you would like, but oh.
Oh, so much fun.
So clean. Yeah. So what we're seeing is the protons in the atoms are reacting to this UV light. They're zooming around and emitting energy in the form of visible light. So when I turn this off, you'll still actually be able to see it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, gross. We're going into the Grand Palace with the drapery coming down the side. Parachute shield, because they're named after the World War II parachutes.
I love the state of Nevada. For all the ways, it's nothing like the southwest corner of British Columbia, which I call home. There are a lot of dry, open places in the USA, but for some reason I can't yet articulate, this state has captured my heart like none other, and not only do I feel a sense of home, but I want to get out into the nooks and crannies. Here, the curiosity course is strong, pulling me to peek around the next bend, over the next rise, and pursue new to me paths without ever leading to the feeling of having had enough of the state. I never really want to leave Nevada, but it's a harsh place and it's rarely comfortable, and usually I'm passing through on my way to somewhere else. On this trip, I managed to enjoy nearly 2 weeks on paths both familiar and spent filling in some of the gaps. But after that, it was time to continue north. I was growing more and more excited to return to Canada, although at the time I hadn't realized just how unsettled I felt still being in the USA. I had been in the desert for many months at this point, so the open pine forest of Oregon came as a relief as the days grew warmer and I found myself feeling really behind on a myriad of responsibilities that needed my attention. It's a common feeling for me to be torn between not wanting to leave a place and also being excited for what is to come. But this year, driving north felt different than it ever has before, as I didn't know when or if I would ever be able to return, whether I want to or not. Being a Canadian escaping winter in the USA was a little different this year than it had ever been, and in the next video, I'll share the hoops I had to jump through to continue this road trip and how I really felt about my time now that it's all said and done and I'm thankfully home safe in Canada.